Hi, my name is Maddie Carnian, and tonight I will be summarizing Chapter 3 of Now Discover Your Strengths. This chapter is all about the traces of talent. So it's about how you discover that talent and how you analyze your strengths in order to fully utilize that talent and how to discover it. So the book says that spontaneous reactions, yearnings, rapid learning, and satisfactions will all help you detect the traces of your talent. So they gave multiple examples about how spontaneous reactions will actually help reveal how you will react in a situation like that in real life. These reactions will help you discover if you're quick at responding, if you're dependable under stress, if you're patient under stress, if you're completely freak out and you don't know how to handle the situation. These are all very important to determining the talents that you have and what you're special at. So the book talks about a specific story about how when a lady was going to a work trip to the Dominican Republic, she hopped on a puddle jumper plane and all the alarms on the plane started going off. She was with like 6 other associates that worked with her, and she was saying how everyone was freaking out in a different way. She was in charge of looking at the dials on the plane and ended up realizing that something just flicked a switch in the wrong way, and the pilots just had the plane go in descent by accident, by routine, but nothing was actually wrong with the plane and that they were all okay. But then she described how each one of her associates that were with her on that plane all acted differently and all acted in the way that described their personality and which revealed the talents that they have. She was saying how, although that was a dramatic example of how people reveal themselves under stress, daily life offers thousands of less intense situations that provoke revealing reactions. So they said, think of a recent party where you didn't know most of the guests. Who'd you spend the majority of your time with? Those you knew or those you didn't. If you're drawn to the strangers, you may be a natural extrovert. That's like me. I like to think of myself as a natural extrovert just because I love meeting new people. I love connecting with people. I love starting new conversations. And then it also says, you might be defined later as an innate need to win others over. And I'm completely like that. I don't like anyone not liking me. I don't like anyone disliking me or having any hateful attitude towards me. So I love to win people over. I like to think I'm really good at that. And then also, if you sat out and hung out with your closest friends, that's a good sign that you're a relative. So that means that you have a natural desire to deepen existing relationships. I think I like to have a balance between creating new relationships and then deepening the ones that already exist because I know how important those ones that already exist to me are. So I like to keep those. But I also love to make new relationships as well. So we're talking about that, and then we've also talked about yearnings, which reveal the presence of a talent, particularly when they are felt early in life. So when something happens early in life, such as a natural cause to socialize with people, that's something that I like to think of as an early yearning for me. They describe the example of Matt Damon and Ben Affleck when they were 10 years old. They were creating scripts and acting to them, and they're still really good friends, and that's a natural, that was an early yearning for them. They're talking about how Mozart had written his first symphony by the time that he was 12 years old, like discovering something that they love and creating a life out of it almost. So I have a lot of examples of when I was little, when I would always be the most talkative in a room. I would go and talk to all the adults. I would talk to all my friends. And I think that has paved the way for me wanting to major in public relations and communication because I have a natural yearning for that. It's something that I'm good at. It's something that I love. I love talking to people. And then we also talked about how rapid learning offers another trace of talent. Sometimes a talent doesn't signal itself through yearning. For a myriad of reasons, although the talent exists within you, you don't hear its call. Instead, comparatively later in life, something sparks a talent, and it is the speed at which you learn a new skill that provides a talent, the telltale clue to the talent's presence and power. So they also gave multiple examples about how a lot of famous people didn't discover that they had a love for something until later in life. I think that this is really important too, because it shows that that it doesn't matter how old you are, if you have a love for something, you're going to discover it and you're going to do something well in it. And it's about how quickly you learn that you're good at that. And that's how you're going to discover that special talent. And lastly, we talked about satisfactions, which provide the last clue to talent. It says your strongest synaptic connections are designed so that when you use them, it feels good. So obviously you're going to want to keep doing something that makes you feel good. If you're doing something that makes you feel good in the failures of others, we talked about how we need to reevaluate your own values, because it is never the right thing to feel good about seeing someone else fail. You need to reevaluate your values and do something that makes you feel good while also seeing the success of your peers. And so it says your positive activities seem to bring you psychological strength and satisfaction. So they gave examples of when they interviewed excellent performers in the study. What was most striking was a sheer range of activities or outcomes that made people happy. Because people are going to live a very fulfilled life and a satisfactory life when they do stuff that they love, because they're giving that satisfactions. They feel good about what they're doing every single day. And these 5 clues all gave us insight of how to discover your talents. And I personally love this book just because it gives more real life examples, and I thoroughly enjoyed reading this chapter. Thanks.